Test me, O Lord, and try me. Examine my heart and mind. For your loving devotion is before my eyes. I have walked in your truth. I woke up this morning with the book of Psalms just playing over me. And every time I do that, I do feel blessed because it's just such an examination of this world. So many cries out to the Lord, many of which from King David when he was being persecuted. He had many enemies, a lot of which were by his own fault because he was a very broken and faulted and humbled man through his transgressions. And this world is wicked. And because it's wicked, and there is a good and righteous God who created it and all of us in it, that free will allows for evil to go after the righteous. And it's not because we're good. It's not because we're so virtuous. Our righteousness is rooted in our faith. So I just want to read some of these Psalms because to me, like when you're feeling down and out, the book of Psalms can just lift your spirit because you realize you're not alone. The saints of the past went through many tough things, but their righteousness was in God, not in themselves, and their hope was in heaven, not in this world. So God will give victory, but that doesn't always mean what people think it will mean. We're not always going to have victory over people in this world. Jesus showed us that at the cross. His victory was over death. He conquered death on the cross so that we would not fear the oppressive forces in this world because our victory is in heaven. To die righteously, to die because of your faith or standing up for your faith is amazing. Doesn't seem that way, but then you'll move on to your final destination in heaven. Now, we don't have a death wish. I certainly don't have a death wish, but death is not a motivating factor to avoid. In fact, it's a reward, I believe, for many saints to enter into the gates of heaven. So let me just finish reading some of this. That was Psalm 26. I do not sit with deceitful men. Actually, starting with verse 3. For your loving devotion is before my eyes, and I have walked in your truth. I do not sit with deceitful men, nor keep company with hypocrites. I hate the mob of evildoers, and refuse to sit with the wicked. I wash my hand of innocence, that I may go about your altar, O Lord, to raise my voice in thanksgiving and declare all your wonderful works. O Lord, I love the house where you dwell, the place where your glory resides. Heaven, it's not in this world, but inside, in our hearts, minds, and souls, we can feel that peace and give that out to the world. The place where your glory resides, do not take my soul away with sinners, or my life with men of bloodshed, in whose hands are wicked schemes, whose right hands are full of bribes. That's the world we live in. Wickedness everywhere, scheming everywhere, conspiring and conspiracies everywhere, and making those who expose those things look foolish because they're wise in their own eyes and they denied God. But I will walk with integrity. Redeem me and be merciful to me. My feet stand on level ground. In the congregations, I will bless the Lord. That's Psalm 26. And I just want to read a couple more really quickly. Psalm 31. But I trust in you, O Lord. I say, you are my God. My times are in your hands. Deliver me from my enemies and from those who pursue me. Make your face shine on your servant. Save me by your loving devotion. O Lord, let me not be ashamed, for I have called you. Let the wicked be put to shame. Let them lie silent in Sheol. May lying lips be silenced, lips that speak with arrogance against the righteous, full of pride and contempt. How great is your goodness, which you have laid up for those who fear you, which you have bestowed before the sons of men on those who take refuge in you. You hide them in the secret place of your presence from the schemes of men. You conceal them in your shelter from accusing tongues. And anytime some of this stuff doesn't seem like it makes sense or it doesn't seem like he's doing that for you, remember Jesus, everything he went through. Because the hiding place is in our hearts. And when we allow Jesus to come into our lives, our hearts are transformed so that our will becomes in line with his and focused on his kingdom, not in this world. This world is the domain of the fallen one and all of his fallen angels that followed him. I know everything secular and science in the world tries to dismiss that notion. This is everything. We're just a lump of molecules, and when we die, that's it. That's not true. If you get into the Word of God, it starts to breathe truth into your lungs so that you see through all the spiritual deception. Psalm 32, blessed is he whose transgressions are forgiven, whose sins are covered. Blessed is the man whose iniquity the Lord does not count against him, in whose spirit there is no deceit. Again, this world is full of deceit, but those who are following the Lord, there will be no deceit. I will instruct you and teach you the way you should go. I will give you counsel and watch over you. Do not be like the horse or mule, which have no understanding. They must be controlled with bit and bridle to make them come to you. Many are the sorrows of the wicked, but loving devotion surrounds him who trusts in the Lord. Be glad in the Lord and rejoice, O righteous ones. Shout for joy, all you upright in heart. See, we are righteous again simply by believing. It's not in our own strength or our works, but His alone. I use this serene background of the stream and the sun. That's evidence of all of His glory. You look at that. You can't paint that stuff. We do paint it because it's a reflection of His glory that is all around us, that surrounds us. Everything is a product of the Creator who also created us. Psalm 37, do not fret over those who do evil. Do not envy those who do wrong. For they wither quickly like grass and wilt like tender plants. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and cultivate faithfulness. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. But when your will is aligned with His, the desires of your heart won't look like those of most in the world who are living without God, that don't know Jesus. They'll be in line with His. You'll want to be a servant. You'll have that peace in your heart. Will you enjoy all of His creation and love being of service to others? Anyway, if your heart is plagued, if you're going through anything, if you're anxious, if you're depressed, you're feeling like people are against you, I urge you to get into the book of Psalms. Either read it, put eye to paper, let it sink in, or let it play over you. There's plenty of Bible apps out there, but the book of Psalms is there for you. It's a love letter. So just get into the book of Psalms. I pray this blesses you. Have a great day. God bless.